What would you do if your own family member offered your 16-year-old daughter $3,000 for her Taylor Swift concert ticket, and when she politely declined, he slapped her across the face in front of your entire family? This Reddit story starts with what seemed like a generous offer, but quickly escalates into family violence, police involvement, and a lawsuit that tore apart 3 generations. By the end of this story, you'll see how one concert ticket exposed the true monster hiding in our family. If you're a Swiftie or have dealt with toxic family members, you need to hit that like button because this story will leave you absolutely speechless. Meet Sarah, a devoted single mom who had been saving for months to surprise her 16-year-old daughter Emma with Taylor Swift Eras tour tickets. Emma was the ultimate Swiftie. She knew every song, every album, every piece of Taylor Swift trivia imaginable. Getting these tickets was literally Emma's dream come true, and Sarah had worked overtime for 3 months to afford the $400 tickets. The family gathering was supposed to be a celebration. Sarah's brother Mike, who everyone called Uncle Mike, was known for being wealthy but also incredibly entitled. He owned several successful businesses and was used to getting whatever he wanted by throwing money at problems. Mike had never shown much interest in his niece Emma before, but that was about to change in the worst possible way. When Sarah announced Emma's surprise Taylor Swift tickets at the family dinner, everyone was excited for Emma. Everyone except Uncle Mike, who immediately saw an opportunity to solve his own problem at his niece's expense. You can probably guess where this is heading, but trust me, Uncle Mike's behavior gets so much worse than you can imagine. Subscribe now because this family drama is about to explode. Uncle Mike's reaction to Emma's tickets was immediate and inappropriate. Instead of congratulating his niece, he pulled out his phone and showed everyone that he'd been trying to buy Taylor Swift tickets for his own 14-year-old daughter, but everything was sold out or being scalped for thousands of dollars. Then came the offer that should have been generous but felt immediately wrong. Mike offered Emma $3,000 cash, more than 7 times what Sarah had paid for her tickets. When Emma politely said no and explained how much the concert meant to her, Mike's face changed completely. "Emma, don't be selfish," he said in front of the entire family. "My daughter deserves these tickets more than you do. I can afford to pay for them, and your mom clearly can't afford much for you. Take the money and be grateful." The room went silent. Sarah was furious at the implications about her financial situation and the way Mike was talking to Emma, but before she could respond, Emma spoke up for herself with a maturity that shocked everyone. Emma's response to her uncle's bullying was perfect, but it triggered something in Mike that nobody saw coming. "You won't believe what he did next." Emma looked her uncle directly in the eyes and said, "Uncle Mike, I appreciate the offer, but these tickets aren't for sale. My mom worked really hard to get them for me, and I've been dreaming about this concert for months. Your daughter can probably get tickets through your connections or from resellers, but these specific tickets have sentimental value that money can't replace." It was a perfect, respectful response from a 16-year-old who was trying to stand her ground without being disrespectful to an adult family member. But Mike's reaction was absolutely terrifying. His face turned red with rage, and he started shouting at Emma, calling her spoiled, ungrateful, and selfish. He told her she was too young to understand the value of money and that she was embarrassing the family by refusing his generous offer. The entire family was watching in shock as a grown man berated a teenage girl for not selling her concert tickets. Sarah stood up to defend her daughter, but before she could reach Emma, Mike did something that changed everything forever. What Mike did next was so shocking that it led to police involvement and criminal charges. Hit that notification bell because this story takes the darkest turn possible. Mike reached across the table and slapped Emma hard across the face, so hard that the sound echoed through the dining room and left a red handprint on her cheek. Then he screamed, "You little brat. I offered you more money than your mother makes in a month, and you have the nerve to refuse me. Give me those tickets right now." The room exploded. Sarah immediately called 911 while Emma sat in shock, tears streaming down her face, touching her cheek where her uncle had hit her. Several family members started yelling at Mike, while others tried to comfort Emma. But Mike wasn't done. When he realized that Emma still wasn't going to give him the tickets, he grabbed her purse and started digging through it, looking for the tickets. When Emma's grandfather tried to stop him, Mike shoved the 78-year-old man so hard that he fell backwards into a chair. That's when Sarah's brother-in-law, a former Marine, physically restrained Mike until police arrived. Mike was arrested for assault on a minor and assault on an elderly person, all because a 16-year-old girl wouldn't sell her Taylor Swift tickets. The arrest was just the beginning of Mike's consequences. Subscribe if you want to see how this family assault case played out in court. The police took statements from everyone at the dinner, and the evidence against Mike was overwhelming. Multiple witnesses saw him assault both Emma and her grandfather, and Emma's cheek was already swelling from the slap. Mike was charged with assault on a minor, assault on an elderly person, and attempted theft. But the family drama was just getting started. Mike's wife blamed Emma for provoking her husband and demanded that Sarah drop the charges to keep the family together. When Sarah refused, Mike's side of the family turned against her and Emma, claiming they were destroying the family over concert tickets. The most heartbreaking part was discovering that this wasn't Mike's first time being violent with family members. During the investigation, other relatives came forward with stories of Mike's anger issues, financial manipulation, and previous physical altercations that had been covered up to protect the family reputation. Sarah realized she hadn't just witnessed an isolated incident, she'd exposed a pattern of family abuse that had been hidden for decades. And now she had to decide whether protecting her daughter was worth losing half her family. Sarah's decision about whether to prosecute her own brother was agonizing, but what she discovered about Mike's past made the choice clear. Comment below, would you have pressed charges? Sarah decided to prosecute Mike to the fullest extent of the law, despite intense family pressure to drop the charges. During the legal proceedings, more disturbing information came to light about Mike's behavior patterns and financial manipulation of family members. It turned out that Mike had been using his wealth to control and manipulate relatives for years. He'd loaned money to family members and then used their debt to demand favors, override their decisions, and basically treat them like employees. Emma's refusal to sell her tickets was the first time anyone in the family had said no to Mike without financial consequences. The court case revealed that Mike had a history of using physical intimidation when his money couldn't buy compliance. Sarah's own mother admitted that Mike had pushed her downstairs 2 years earlier when she wouldn't sign over some family property to him. Mike was ultimately sentenced to 6 months in jail, 2 years probation, mandatory anger management classes, and a restraining order preventing him from contacting Emma or her grandfather. He was also ordered to pay for Emma's therapy and medical expenses. The legal victory was satisfying, but the family fallout was devastating. Hit that like button if you think Mike got what he deserved. Mike served his full sentence and was released with strict conditions, including staying away from Emma and continuing anger management treatment. His business reputation was damaged by the publicity around the case, and several family members cut contact with him entirely. The family split permanently over the incident. Half the relatives supported Sarah and Emma, understanding that Mike's behavior was inexcusable regardless of the circumstances. The other half blamed them for destroying the family and maintained that the whole situation was blown out of proportion. Emma did attend the Taylor Swift concert, and it was everything she dreamed it would be. Sarah said watching her daughter sing along to every song, surrounded by other happy Swifties, made all the family drama worth it. Emma had learned that some things, like dreams, dignity, and personal boundaries, truly can't be bought. The most satisfying ending? Mike's own daughter eventually got Taylor Swift tickets through a legitimate resale site, proving that his violent outburst was completely unnecessary. She also testified in family court that she was embarrassed by her father's behavior and didn't want tickets that came from hurting her cousin. Sometimes standing up to family bullies is the only way to protect the people you love. If this story of a mom protecting her daughter inspired you, make sure you're subscribed for more family justice stories. This story teaches us something crucial about family dynamics and the true cost of enabling toxic behavior. Mike had been allowed to use his wealth and intimidation tactics for years because family members prioritized keeping the peace over protecting his victims. Emma's simple refusal to sell her concert tickets exposed decades of family dysfunction and abuse. Her courage to say no to an adult authority figure, even when faced with financial pressure and eventual violence, showed maturity that many adults lack. The saddest part isn't that Mike was violent, it's that so many family members were willing to excuse that violence to avoid conflict. Sarah's decision to prosecute her own brother sent a clear message that protecting children matters more than protecting family secrets. Emma learned that her dreams and boundaries have value that can't be measured in dollars. She also learned that standing up for yourself sometimes means losing people who were never really on your side to begin with. If this story about protecting children from family abuse and standing up to wealthy bullies moved you, I need you to smash that like button, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more stories where the good guys win against toxic family members, and share this with any parent who needs to know they're not alone in fighting family dysfunction. Comment below and tell me, have you ever had to choose between family peace and protecting someone you love? Let's support parents who put their children's safety first, even when it's hard. Your story could help another parent make the right choice. See you in the next family justice story.